Alright you guys, welcome back today. I'm so happy that you're here with me. We are in front of my favorite ramen shop ever in Shibuya, and I've got a guest with me today. I really had a Frank. Frank is the owner of the 5 a.m. ramen channel. What do you do on your channel?
I eat ramen for a living, not just at 5 a.m. I think it's 3 p.m. right now, but yeah, all things ramen.
Absolutely. So he's here today because he has an in at this restaurant, and since it's my personal favorite ramen restaurant, he has gotten us into the kitchen so that we can see them make our bowl. So we're gonna go in and have some ramen and talk about it.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
So basically, he is preparing our 3 delicious bowls of ramen, and as this is again broiled miso ramen, he's basically creating a lot of flames because he's not only cooking with miso but also cooking it with vegetables in this big wok. So this is a key in Sapporo style miso ramen. That yeah, it is a little bit theatrical, I think, with the flames, but this part is critical. A nice smoky flavor you get from using that wok. You can see the big piles of chashu pork in the corner there. So normally with ramen, when you're assembling it, of course, it's seasoning, soup, noodles, and toppings, right? In that order. In the seasoning of soup, there could be some other things like aroma oils, but let's say for the most part, seasoning soup, noodles, toppings. Now, what's interesting about Sapporo style miso ramen is they actually put the noodles in first and then pour the soup on top. You're gonna see this in a second here. Now he's using a tebo, or basically a noodle, or a strainer, and those are golden colored Sapporo style noodles. They're also thick and wavy, very pretty, bright yellow.
Do you know what makes them so yellow? Is it egg yolk?
Often, it can be egg, but often it's just like a pigment thing. Yeah, they actually will add that just to give it that color.
That's so crazy.
There's
so cool.
the skimmin noodles on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side we've got those gluten-free brown rice noodles, which are a little bit more flat, right? So he is pouring from that same wok I was talking about, the miso soup on top of the noodles, instead of the other way around.
Wow, this is good.
See that smoke coming out. Sorry,
yeah, no, what's interesting is he's using the same broth for both bowls, which would indicate to me that both, like the soup itself is gluten-free. So when you order like a gluten-free versus a regular, you're really just changing up the noodles. Everyone else is getting kind of the same dish. So that's kind of cool to know that if you're getting gluten-free, you're really getting the same experience as everyone else. It's just the noodles that are different.
Exactly, getting the same delicious soup that they're known for. And he's putting on all the toppings here. We got the tomato there standing out with that bright red color. Corn is a popular topping in miso ramen. And also he's adding spring onions there, bamboo shoots for crunch. We've got seaweed. And you might see in the middle of your gluten-free ramen, there's a little bit of ginger. Nice sharp little jolts to the soup.
Yeah. Alright you guys, we have our ramen and I'm so excited because I'm so hungry and I can't wait to eat. But since I've got an expert here, I have to ask Frank, what am I looking at? What's going on with my bowl, your bowl? What makes it different and exciting?
Well, we have 3 quite different bowls here. So they're known for their miso ramen, and what's cool about their Sapporo style miso ramen is that they stir fry the vegetables and the miso in a big wok, and that's what gives it a wonderful smoky flavor to it. On top of that, I would say that this place is more smoky than normal. They're actually known for aburi miso ramen, which is like seared or broiled miso.
Yeah.
So that wonderful smokiness, you can already kind of smell it from
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
And you've got that in both of these bowls. This one has different noodles, gluten-free noodles, and yeah, some toppings that are maybe a little bit unusual for miso ramen, including the tomato. Corn, you do get a miso ramen, but let's say this is your regular miso ramen, gluten-free miso ramen, with a little adjustments made to the toppings.
This is exciting because I was just in Sapporo and I did not get the chance to try ramen there, which I know. I know.
We have to stop the video right now.
Let's fly. Let's go. I know. I felt so sad.
Well, you're getting your redemption right now.
I know. So I'm really, really excited to hear that because I never knew that. And something you mentioned is that in each bowl we have very different kinds of noodles. Why is that unique for a ramen shop?
Usually, just given the size of Tokyo ramen shops, they're quite small, right? We're talking about 5-10 seats at the most. This place is much bigger. As such, they also have a bigger kitchen. So they're able to cater, let's say, to a greater range of dietary requirements, that being gluten-free noodles, which we
Yeah.
have here. These are brown rice gluten-free noodles. Very unusual in any Japan ramen shop to have gluten-free noodles. Here we have your more standard Sapporo miso ramen style noodles. They're bright yellow, they're thick and wavy, and they do have gluten in them, as do ramen noodles normally. Now these noodles are even thicker because with skemen or dipping ramen, you're literally dipping the noodles into the soup. Normally thicker noodles are used to match, let's say, what is a thicker broth or a thicker soup.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of that soup clings to what are very thick noodles. So getting even thicker from here to here, and of course the brown rice.
Oh, we've got a lot of different styles. Okay, we have got to dig in and
Yes,
try it out.
yes.
So let's go for
Absolutely.
it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go in for a first bite, and I have to say I've come here many times, and I've had friends who ordered the gluten-free noodles, but I haven't. So this is actually my chance. I've tasted it before, but this is my chance to get the full impact. Wow. What like stuns me is you can taste the fire roasted flavor of it. Like it really, like you can taste all the individual ingredients really well, but the kind of extra roastiness from it really, really plays off of the freshness of all the vegetables. So I can see why we have like a cherry tomato, which is unusual. I feel like it's a little bit of acidity that kind of will pop really nicely against the deeper smoky flavors. Ooh, this is so good. Tell us about yours. You've never had this.
Yeah, I have not had the skemen before. So skemen, it's literally dipping ramen. You're dipping those noodles into the soup. Normally with the soup, it's a lot thicker, a lot more concentrated in flavor, to the point where you don't want to drink it by itself. But it works well in dipping form because, again, you're grabbing a little bit of those noodles, dipping it into the soup. Just a bit of that thick soup is getting onto the noodles.
Yeah.
It's not as overpowering. And it's really a way to appreciate the noodles by themselves because you're not cooking in that soup, right?
Yeah,
You can smell them, you can taste them a bit more. And I just had a little bit of it. And it's got a pretty salty, sweet soy sauce flavor with this beautiful chicken richness.
Oh, so good. Okay.
And you may be hearing us slurping. I'll throw it back at both of you.
Yeah.
Well, why do Japanese slurp their ramen? And I'll add anything on top of that.
I think I know. I think I know. Do you know? It's to show appreciation for the food that you're eating, right?
Oh, I thought it had a scientific meaning. You're
Well,
aerating it.
it
You're
cools
adding
the
oxygen
noodles.
to it.
It's both. It's both. Of course, it depends on who you ask, right? But you're absolutely both right. You're showing appreciation. No one's going to come running out of the kitchen scolding you if you're not slurping, and they certainly can't hear us. We're here on the second floor. But yeah, you're showing appreciation. You're also taking more air through your nose. You're enhancing the flavors in that way. And last but not least, it's piping hot. You're cooling it down.
Yeah.
Especially the case with Sapporo miso ramen.
Yeah.
My soup is not as hot because skemen noodles. Another thing is that they're normally served cold.
Yeah.
Some places you can request to like heat them up,
Yeah.
but most places you're going to do cold noodles. So your soup's getting lukewarm towards the middle of the
It makes it easier to like eat it faster, I find.
That too. You can shovel it in a little bit.
More. But you know what I find interesting? So I understand the slurping thing. The problem is my mom raised me with very proper, good American European manners. So slurping does not come naturally to me. So when I eat ramen, I prefer to put all of my ingredients in my spoon like this with a little broth so that I don't have to slurp anything and I can just pop it right in my mouth. And it's very convenient. And that has dictated my style of eating ramen.
That works though too.
Yeah.
That's a neat way to do it. You do see a lot of Japanese doing that as well, right? They'll kind of like load up their spoon there. You can have a little bite-sized ramen in bites.
Absolutely. Oh man. So talk to me a little bit. You take people all around Tokyo and show them different places to eat ramen, and you say that this is your first stop on your tour. What about the shop do you think makes like a good place to bring the average person?
Well, I think, first of all, before we talk about the ramen maybe and like taste and all those things, I think location is great. It's in the middle of Shibuya. They've been here for a while. They're clearly doing something right because they've survived this long. They also have a lot of space.
Yeah.
So I think from a ramen tour perspective, it ticks those boxes for sure.
Yeah.
And then, getting to the ramen itself, as we touched on, right? It's really about It's really about them being one of the few places that does gluten-free noodles along with vegan ramen. Very rare.
Yeah.
But putting that aside, like I'm not vegan myself, although at home I do try and eat vegetables just because I eat so much pork when I'm out eating ramen.
We're worried about you.
Yeah. Intervention.
I know,
We could do it after the ramen. Or is it before the ramen? So I'm probably better, right? But I think I'm not vegan myself, but I've always loved their miso ramen here. That's always been a go-to, and it's something I want to introduce to people when they're visiting Tokyo. So yeah, the miso ramen, and of course after the miso ramen, they started with that, but they've expanded their menu to do great shoyu or soy sauce ramen, salt seasoned ramen, and now the skemen, which I'm trying to.
Yeah. And you guys, if you're coming here and you want that really good anime kind of experience, I am just here to tell you that Naruto's favorite ramen is a miso-based ramen. So if you're looking for a really good miso-based shop to get that kind of same feeling, this is so good. Like, if you think you've had ramen in America, you're wrong, okay? You haven't even come close. This is maybe one of the best bowls that I've had in Tokyo, which is why it's my favorite shop.
And branching off that, this place is actually open all night, so it could also be your go-to place after a night out
In Shibuya.
In Shibuya.
Nothing better than last train in Shibuya or first train in Shibuya,
Yes.
and you gotta spend your time somewhere doing something.
Exactly.
This ramen shop is right, really, truly in the heart of Shibuya. There's literally like a karaoke place right across the street. I have spent a few nights here myself with my friends, partying across the street, come over for a bowl of ramen. It's so good. And I can see too that if you're a person who needs to consume gluten-free, like these noodles, I can't tell. I think with sometimes with gluten-free stuff, you eat it and you're like, oh, this tastes like gluten-free stuff, like it's not good, you know? But I really can't tell. With all the flavor that's going on in this bowl, the noodles are kind of acting as a vehicle to get all that delicious, delicious power, flavor impact. And I'm really not too like fussed about whether or not they're authentic. They just taste really good. All right, guys, that was so delicious. I'm so excited. Any chance I can get to come here is a good day, you know. Frank, thank you so much for showing us around and telling us everything. Tell the viewers what your channel is and give your handles and stuff so that they know where to go.
Thank you for having me. It's been great. Always happy to come back here. And yeah, feel free to find me 5 a.m. Ramen. That's my handle on YouTube, Instagram, and all the other social media places that you can find me.
Yeah, and his stuff is so good, you guys. If you're interested about ramen in Japan, in Tokyo, wherever, like he has got the hookup. He's so on it. So if you're planning a trip here, you've got to check his stuff out. This was so good. If you want to see more video content at this shop where I went with my friend who's gluten-free, I'm going to link a video somewhere around this video. Don't forget to pre-order my book, which is out on Amazon right now. And oh, before we go, Frank and I want to film some more videos together, but we don't know what to film. I kind of want to show him some ramen from anime and have him review it with me. What do you guys think about that idea? Let us know in the comments, or if you want us to do something else, maybe go to a different shop. Yeah, give us some ideas because we'd love to do some stuff. And I think that's all.
That sounds good, yeah.
That's all. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you later. Bye. True fans know how much I love pickle, the precious, precious pickle. You never see it. Whenever you find it in a vending machine, it's a rare and beautiful day. Pickle, I love you.